Biden's approval rating craters as his approval rating falls to lower than just 44%. 43% according to some publications. Things are so bad that Biden's approval rating among independents fell to 36%, with 1 in 5 Americans saying they would take their vote for Joe Biden back. In other news, Israel is now one of the most infected countries in the world. All of this despite the country's extremely high vaccination rate, leaving many to wonder, what is going on? Do we need boosters? But we're going to talk about all that and more. But before we do, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and hit the bell icon for updates for future content, and support the channel by sharing this video. It really goes a long way into helping the channel, so share it online, share it with your family and friends, and do your part to fight back against the tyranny. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Introducing Webull. Webull is an easy and convenient trading app where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency and stocks, where all you have to do is open an account and deposit $5 to get 2 free stocks. These stocks could be worth up to $1,400. Folks, it's basically free money. Join Webull and deposit your first $5 by clicking the link down below in the description. And we're back. Let's just jump right in, folks, here on the Daily Mail. Biden's approval rating tumbles even lower to just 44% after disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal that stranded hundreds of Americans and thousands of allies, a new poll shows. Biden's approval rating is now lower than all 6 past Democratic presidents at this point in their terms, including former boss Barack Obama. The new poll finds more than half of those surveyed, 60%, disapprove of his job in Afghanistan. Things are looking bad for Joe Biden. So here the story says, Americans are deeply unhappy with President Joe Biden after the United States' disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan that left at least 100 Americans and thousands of Afghan allies who aided the U.S. military behind. In the Taliban-controlled country, a new poll released Friday finds. So I've seen several reports on this. Some people say that his approval rating is as low as 43%. Others are saying 44%. I think they're probably rounding up or rounding down. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The vast majority of America does not like Joe Biden. I want you to take a look at the following story, because it really exposes just how despicable Joe Biden is. Here on the Daily Mail. Headline, it's all about him. Dead Marine's family say they walked out of a meeting with Biden because he only spoke about his son, Beau, and slam his botched Afghanistan withdrawal as a miserable failure. The family of late Marine Riley McCollum, who died in the Kabul explosion, continued to criticize President Joe Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan. Now, according to the family, when they went to the president to maybe get some condolences, get some, I'm sorry for your loss, I understand, we make mistakes, they did not fall in vain. Oh, no. Biden did not give the family any of that. Instead, he went on about his son, Beau. Here it says, Jim McCollum and Royce McCollum, the father and sister of the late Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, spoke with Fox's Sean Hannity to share their frustration with Biden. Royce added, quote, everything you've done is completely wrong, Jim said. We had opportunities to do this the right way, and we absolutely failed miserably. Royce added that Riley's pregnant wife, Gina Creighton, attended a Gold Star family meeting with the president. Biden only spoke about his own son while neglecting to mention the names of the 13 fallen service members. There was no mention of Riley. No, I'm sorry for your loss, she said. It was, my son died too. It was more about him. That tells you everything you need to know about Joe Biden. But we need to talk about COVID. I want to show you a disturbing article released by CBS News. Here it says, Biden administration releases plan for combating the next pandemic. Now, we're going to talk about Israel. We're going to talk about people getting infected. But I feel like this is all just part of a greater story that we are walking down, living through. And that story is a medical police state. Here it says, the Biden administration has released its plan for combating the next pandemic, warning that a future pandemic could be even worse than COVID-19. What I'm about to read you is deeply scary and deeply disturbing. The administration's plan, which also addresses other biological threats, has several components, creating medical defenses, such as the rapid production of vaccines, therapeutics and diagnostics, establishing early warning systems, and real-time monitoring. Oh boy, that's where this gets scary. A real-life monitoring system. Does that mean they're going to be scanning your body temperature everywhere you go? They're going to have cameras everywhere so they can watch you? This is scary. They go on to say, modernizing public health infrastructure at home and abroad, improving supply chains, personal protective equipment, etc., etc., but also establishing a pandemic mission control office. The plan would cost $65 billion over the next 7 to 10 years, with $15 billion coming from the Democrats' $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. I think we can see where this is going. They are never going to let this end. And more importantly, this virus is simply not going to go away. I mean, take a look at what happened to Oscar de la Hoya. 48 years old, has been hospitalized with COVID, and he's pulling out of his comeback fight against Vitor Belfort. Now, a lot of people are talking about this boxer because he's famous. You know, even I've heard of Oscar de la Hoya, and I'm not really big on sports. But the guy has been put in the hospital. Now I know what you're thinking, and what those liberals are thinking. They're thinking, well, he should have gotten the vaccine. Oscar de la Hoya was fully vaccinated. Oh, snap! And this is what concerns me, folks. This guy was fully vaccinated, in good health, and he was hospitalized for COVID. Everybody has been saying that the whole point of vaccinations was so that we would not end up in the hospital, and we would have less severe reactions to COVID infections. And yet, Israel is now the world's COVID hotspot, with cases soaring. Now, there's a lot of reasons for this. But I'm just going to read what it says here. Israel has become the COVID capital of the world, despite leading the charge on vaccines. In a clear warning sign to Britain, the US and other highly immunized nations are still vulnerable to another wave. Stats compiled by Oxford University-backed research team, Our World in Data shows there were a record of 1,892 COVID cases per million people in Israel on Wednesday, nearly 0.2% of the entire population in a single day. Yada yada. There's a lot of data here, but I think the important point is that COVID's not going away. It's here to stay. Getting the vax is probably a good thing, as more and more people will be resistant to the virus. But now we've got stories about a Mu variant. MU, the Mu variant. And apparently, it's more resistant to vaccines, or at least this vaccine. We might have to make a new vaccine. The White House is talking about booster shots. The CDC and FDA are mad at the White House because they want more time to study booster shots. It's a mess. So I cannot tell you. I'm not telling you what to do. I am not a source of medical information. You talk to your doctor. You do your own research. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just telling you what's going on. I want to show you the data from Zogby Analytics, or might be Zugby. It's probably Zugby. A poll conducted by Zugby Analytics found that 20% of Biden voters now regret their choice, 4% are unsure, and 76% still have confidence in the commander-in-chief. Nearly 3 in 10, 29% of Republicans who voted for Biden regretted it, while 1/5, 20% of Democrats, felt the same way, and 14% of independents also agree. Men were far more likely to regret their vote than women. Surprise, surprise. 27% of males regretted their vote for the Democratic ticket, where only 13% of females felt the same. Young people and minorities were also more likely to regret their vote. I find that hilarious. I'm not surprised that only half of women regretted their vote as compared to men, because female psychology and male psychology are very different. I think one of the problems with the female voting bloc is that they tend to be, I don't want to say indoctrinated, but kind of brainwashed by these groups, by these cults. You know, Democrats are basically a cult. You're not allowed to question the narrative, you fall in line, and you listen. You have to wonder if they're thinking for themselves. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know by replying down below in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Anyhow, support the channel by joining me on Patreon or Subscribestar. This channel is currently not monetized. It's supported by viewers like you. A special thanks to Annan for his generous Bitcoin donation. It's greatly appreciated, and boy oh boy, I do love cryptos. I love the Bitcoins. I love the Ethereums.
I love refrigerators.
I know, I'm just kidding. I know it's the Bitcoin. Oh, just Bitcoin, actually. I know, I'm adding the S there to be funny. If you would like to donate, check out my donor box page, or send me crypto. Links and addresses are down below. Thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all next time.